Well, good evening, East Alabama and West Georgia. As promised, here we are with another update for you this evening as we continue to watch a potential severe weather situation set up across Alabama and Georgia up into Tennessee. And we're just kind of watching what's happening off to our west as we go throughout the remainder of the evening. We don't really anticipate much in the way of severe weather until the final line of cold front, the line of thunderstorms pushes into our area, which will be well after midnight, probably towards sunrise tomorrow morning. There is a slight chance we could see a few individual severe thunderstorms develop out ahead of that cold front, but I think the main show for East Alabama and West Georgia may potentially be that cold front itself, and it is still several hours away from pushing into East Alabama and West Georgia. As you can see there on the radar, we're watching it for you very closely, and we are going to continue to watch this as we go throughout the evening. So let me kind of tell you and show you what's going on out there right now. We have a new tornado watch that was issued just a few moments ago from the Storm Prediction Center out in Norman, Oklahoma. Now, this new tornado watch goes until 2 a.m. Central or 3 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning, and this is going to encompass a good section of northwest Georgia and back into north central Georgia. We're talking about the northern two tiers of counties in the state of Georgia. So this is way up north. We're talking about places like Blue Ridge, Blairsville, all the way over to Hiawassee. That's up in Towns County. It does not get places like Dahlonega, Cleveland, or Cornelia or Toccoa. Those you guys in those locations are just south of where the tornado watch line stops. So that goes until 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then we have another tornado watch back over here in North Alabama that is in effect until 2 a.m. as well. That's basically east of I-65. And then another tornado watch that's in effect until 10 p.m. this evening Central Time. And this one covers northeast, central, and west central Alabama. And that's the one that you folks here in East Alabama and West Georgia need to pay attention to. The Storm Prediction Center has already told us that there is a high likelihood that they will extend this tornado watch further east as we go a little further into the evening. So it's not going to surprise me to see all of our East Alabama counties and potentially our West Georgia counties go under a tornado watch at some point. I don't think it happens much before midnight. So this, unfortunately, is going to be coming through while everybody's in the bed or just as you're getting up tomorrow morning, which, that's a little more dangerous than usual because everybody's in the bed. That's why I've been preaching to you all day long to make sure that you have some type of an app on your phone or NOAA Weather Radio, something that will wake you up while you're asleep tonight. I know the hardcore folks are going to stay up with me, but some of you are going to go to bed. So make sure that you have some way of getting these severe weather warnings as they're issued during the middle of the night. So right now, we don't have a tremendous amount of severe weather unfolding. Quite honestly, we don't have as much as I thought we would at this point. But you have to understand now, we saw a good bit of sunlight down here in central Alabama, East Alabama, and portions of north central Georgia throughout most of the day. Our temperatures got like close to 80 degrees in most locations across the region. So it's warm outside tonight, and we're not going to cool off a whole lot. I mean, we're going to get down into the mid-60s. Without the sunshine today, we may have gotten down into the low 60s or even upper 50s for overnight lows. So today's sun is going to keep us warmer during the overnight hours than we typically or would have been otherwise without the sun today. So as this line of storms moves out of a cooler region and into a warmer region and more unstable atmosphere, we could certainly see that these storms begin to strengthen as they move into Alabama and Georgia later on this evening. So just because we don't have a lot of activity going on out there right now, don't let that fool you into a false sense of security here. because we certainly still have all of the ingredients in place. And as we saw happen in Georgia yesterday, things can change so quickly. And so that's why we're going to watch this thing as we go throughout the evening, even though we don't have a tremendous amount of bad weather going on right now. And you'll see that. I mean, up here around Knoxville, Tennessee, we have a severe thunderstorm warning. We have a special weather statement now up there around Lookout Mountain, around Chattanooga, up there in the extreme southern, southeastern sections of Tennessee, right there where Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia all come together. We have another severe thunderstorm warning up around Huntsville. Now, this storm cell has already had a history of producing several tornado warnings. I have not seen any reports of damage up there. Not to say that there isn't any, but I have noticed that we've had a couple of tornado warnings. We've also had a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings with this same cell. So we're watching that with interest as it gets over here in East Alabama because the weather conditions over here are much like they are down in East Central Alabama. So it'll be interesting to see how this storm develops as it continues moving off to the east. And then looking back down that initial line, just not a whole lot going on. From Double Springs back down to Winfield. Winfield was hit, Thursday night with a tornado. But we don't see a whole lot of action there. It's certainly not severe. And then back down here around Reform and Aliceville, this cell did prompt a tornado warning just a few moments ago, but just now looking at it, it looks like the National Weather Service has canceled this tornado warning, so this storm has fallen back below severe limits as well. And then as we look back over in northern Mississippi, we see a couple of 2 or 3 heavy cells embedded in this line, but again, we're not noticing any tornado warnings over there. No severe thunderstorm warnings in Mississippi, so that's good news this evening as we're looking at all of this. But again, not to say that these storms can't turn severe at any moment, because they certainly could. So we're going to watch this for you as we go throughout the remainder of the evening. There's been no real change in thinking since the last time we were together. We are still expecting severe weather, primarily along the main cold front that will push through East Alabama and West Georgia toward daybreak tomorrow morning. We could have a few strong to marginally severe storms develop out ahead of the cold front. So, the severe weather situation could start unfolding pretty much at any time from about midnight tonight through sunrise tomorrow, tomorrow morning. But we'll see. We'll see how all this works out. So we're watching it for you. We're going to be here throughout the evening. We're not going to go live with live severe wall-to-wall coverage until we think it's warranted, and right now it is not. Again, no watches in place for East Alabama or West Georgia for now. The tornado watch does make it pretty close to East Alabama. It stops along the Talladega-St. Clair County line. So the next tier of counties that would go under the watch would include the Anniston-Oxford area. It would get Talladega. Most likely would include Clay County and Randolph. Probably will get Coosa, Tallapoosa. Not sure about Chambers just yet. And I would expect this next tornado watch probably to be issued with either the 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock update from the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service office. So it's 7:19 now. Probably we will do another update for you somewhere around 10 o'clock Central Time, or when that new tornado watch is issued, if indeed it is issued. Indications are that it will be, but things can change drastically in a couple of hours, so they may change their mind. We will see. So let me go back up and look at the chat room right quick, see if anybody has any questions. We appreciate everybody that's in there this evening. Prattville, Alabama in the hood. There's my hometown. And then there's a question from Prattville. So this is all North Alabama. It is for the moment. But this will change as we go throughout the evening. These showers and thunderstorms that are moving across North Alabama obviously will not affect you in Central Alabama, but more showers and thunderstorms will be developing throughout the evening. And while it appears these storms are moving north, the individual storms are moving north. But you'll see back over here in Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana, the line sags way down to the southwest, and all this stuff over here eventually will sweep through Alabama. So while the storms that are ongoing at the moment will stay in North Alabama. If you're down here in Prattville, if you're over here in Roanoke, if you're down here in LaGrange, you're going to get some storms at some point. But I think it's much later in the evening, probably toward tomorrow morning, before we see these showers and thunderstorms move into the area. Probably 2 to 3 a.m. for central Alabama, and probably more like a 4 to 6 a.m. for East Alabama and into Georgia. So I'm just going to look and see if there are any other questions up here. When is it going to snow? Had to know that one was coming. Hey, Jamie, good to see you back in here, buddy. We'd certainly like to have you back on the program at some point. Get in touch with me offline. We can talk about that. Yes, Glenn Burns has been saying it's going to snow, and that's what's kind of gotten everybody in a tizzy. Yeah, so here's the deal. We have several models, and now one of the more respectable models beginning to hint at the possibility of some wraparound moisture that may linger and may turn into a mixture or briefly change over to either all sleet or all snow. But that would be Monday morning. That's not going to happen tonight. It's not going to happen into Sunday. It's not going to happen during the day on Sunday. The cold air, though our temperature will start to fall tomorrow afternoon, the cold air, the cold air that we would need for snow won't be here until well after midnight tomorrow night, probably around sunrise on Monday morning. Now, if there's enough moisture left in the air, then we could wring out a few snowflakes or two. And on my last update, I showed that possibility. Dare I do it again? Okay, all right, you talked me into it. So there it is. That's what I showed earlier this afternoon. This is the NAM, which is one of the more trusted models for Southeast United States. And this is Sunday morning at 4 a.m. Eastern, so about 3 a.m. Central on Sunday morning. And this is just one run of this model. It has flipped back and forth several times over the last couple of days. But if this were to verify, that blue that you see is snow right over East Alabama. We're talking Talladega and Clay getting the brunt of it. Then maybe from about Wedowee North in Randolph County up through Cleburne County. This is showing a pretty good snow event taking place right here. Number one, odds of this verifying are slim to none. Number two, if it does, the ground is going to be well above freezing, so it would not cause any travel problems at all. And this is a relatively small area that is racing off to the east pretty quick, so it wouldn't last long at all either. So you got to take it for what it's worth here. This is a mid-range model depiction of what it's going to look like at 3 a.m. Monday morning. You can't really depend on the placement of this or the intensity of this because it's the southeastern United States. These models are not built to look at snow down here because it's not supposed to snow down here. So I would not take this to the bank, but yes, there is a chance you could see a flake or two flying in the air early Monday morning, 3, 4, 5 a.m. No accumulation, no problems anticipated with this setup if it verifies at all. So there you go. Answer that snow question before we end this update for you. Bad storms always come at night. Well, yeah, we remember them more because it's more spooky at night. We do get a fair number of these lines of thunderstorms coming through during the overnight hours, and we got to be kind of thankful that's the setup tonight because if this had been like at 1 o'clock this afternoon or 2 o'clock this afternoon, with that full-blown sunshine and temperatures around 80 degrees, then the setup would certainly have been much worse than it may turn out to be with it coming in through the overnight hours. So, while we've been talking about this, I want you to notice what's happening back over in Mississippi. And this is why we've got to just kind of watch what's happening as we go throughout the night. I'm like the last two volume scans. Look at what's happened over here in Mississippi. You see these big storms blowing up there. This is over in western Mississippi, northwestern Mississippi, just east of I-55. And these things have really intensified just in the last two scans from the radar. So that's what I'm saying to you. This whole complex situation could change like really quick as we go throughout the evening. And now we've got a tornado warning up here on this Huntsville storm. So let's go up here and look at that just for a second. Now, this is way out of our coverage area, but I know that some of you have kinfolks up there, so there's nothing happening in East Alabama or West Georgia. We'll talk about it. So there's that tornado warning for a tornado close to the Decatur area. Let me get the text of this up here, and I will read this to you. It takes just a second for it to populate, and there it goes. All right, so this is a tornado warning for southwestern Madison County, southeastern Limestone, and northeastern Morgan County. This is all up in North Alabama. This warning is in effect until 7:45 p.m. At 7:19, about 8 minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Decatur, moving to the east at around 50 miles per hour. That also is intensifying as we were talking about it. So you're seeing the point I was trying to make unfold right there in front of your eyes. This is a fluid situation that could change very quickly as we go throughout the evening. Even though we don't have a ton of severe weather out there right now, within a matter of 15 or 20 minutes, that whole thing could change. So that's why we got to stay on top of what's going on, and you've got to remain weather aware as we go throughout the remainder of the evening. Of course, we're going to keep you weather aware right here on Dr. Don's Weather. All right, so I'm going to look right quick and see if we have any other questions out there. Chambers County, you're in East Alabama. You're just like Randolph. You're just like Clay. You're just like everybody else. Line of thunderstorms coming through. The main line will come through toward daybreak tomorrow morning, but we could have scattered strong to marginally severe thunderstorms pretty much at any time after midnight tonight. Rock Mills, same thing for you, same for Alexander City. Fort Valley, Georgia is safe for now. We're all safe, but we may have storms develop a little bit later on this evening. Everything looks good over in central Georgia for now. You're probably not going to get this line over in central Georgia until after sunrise tomorrow, probably mid-morning before it gets into central Georgia. Everything's fine in Randolph County right now. Also up there at Muscadine and Cleburne County, you look good. Claremont, Georgia, just on the other side of the Waka Mountain from the Dr. Don Studios. Good to have you in there. Central Hatchie in the house. 5 Points, Alabama. Thank you, Greg. Lineville. Athens, Alabama. We were up there looking at Athens earlier today. There were some heavy storms up in that area. Opelika. Good evening to you, Auburn. Roanoke, Lafayette, Bacon Level. Good to have all you folks in there. So I'll recap it again real quick. We have a new tornado watch that was just issued at the top of the hour for our northwest Georgia counties. That stretches from just north of White County, which is where I am, basically from Towns County, Georgia, Hiawassee area, back to the west, all the way back, really all the way through the north, through North Alabama. They've just removed the northwestern counties, the two most northwestern counties in Alabama from the watch. Then we have a tornado watch that stretches from just south of Fort Payne, pretty much parallel to I-59, all the way down into central Alabama to the northern reaches of Shelby County up there at St. Clair. And then it stretches back down into Mississippi and goes all the way back to Arkansas. Does not include East Alabama or West Georgia at this time, though I think there is a decent chance we will see this tornado watch pushed a little further to the east as time goes on this evening, probably after midnight before we see that extension over there to the east. We have one tornado, potentially tornado-producing thunderstorm up in North Alabama. This is just to the east of Decatur. and I think will stay south of Huntsville. Though, if you're up there in the Huntsville area, maybe just a little bit south of Huntsville, pay attention to your local weather meteorologist up there and take their direction on this. The possible tornadoes right there around the I-65 corridor, just east of Decatur, right there along 72A. And that's going to move off to the east, northeast. I think it stays just south of Huntsville, but again, if you're up there in that market, you need to pay close attention to your local officials and your local meteorologist on this storm and take their direction on that as that storm moves through. That's the only warning we have in the state of Alabama at this hour. Even up into Tennessee, where we had multiple severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings earlier today, we're down to just one severe thunderstorm warning up there around Knoxville. And we don't see anything happening back in Mississippi, though this cluster to the southwest of Tupelo is intensifying. The lightning output's picking up on it tremendously. We see a lot of reds now that we didn't see just a few moments ago. So that's an indication that these storms are growing stronger over in Mississippi, and they'll all move into Alabama as we go throughout the evening. You folks over here in East Alabama and West Georgia, pay attention to the southern end of this tornado watch box over in Mississippi. Look back over there toward Meridian and Jackson, Mississippi. That's the area of this line that will eventually make it over into East Alabama. And you can see it's still got a long way to go. So that's why I'm telling you, I think it's going to be toward daybreak tomorrow morning before we see any action across East Alabama and West Georgia, even though with this type setup, we could see pop-up storms pretty much at any time after midnight this evening. So, let's see. Just making sure there's nothing up here I need to address. Wetumpka, Alabama. Great to have you in here with us. We got Wadley in the house. There's Abanda. Roanoke, Wedowee. And Happy New Year to all of you guys, too. We appreciate you being here with us. So that's going to end our update now for this go-around. I plan on maybe coming back. Let's see, it's 7:30. Let's plan on 10 p.m. Let's plan on another update at 10 p.m. unless something changes before then. I feel like we need to come back and update you. Of course, I certainly will. But for now, we'll plan on seeing you back in here at 10 p.m. this evening for another update on this possible severe weather threat for East Alabama and West Georgia. Don't forget to share us with all your friends. Ask your friends to share with their friends. That helps us out tremendously. Go over to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to Dr. Don's Weather on YouTube so you'll get their push notification when we go live. And don't forget to go to drdonwx.com. That is our website. And I'm going to give you that right quick. And right there, you can download our weather app, and you can also click that donate button in the upper right-hand corner and help support us here at Dr. Don's Weather. And I'll see you back in here at 10 p.m. with another update from Dr. Don's Weather.